Namaste to all. One fine day when we were doing yajna in the presence of our Acharya, Swami Ram Sarv Yoga Acharya, our Acharya asked a very basic question to the public there, and I was also there. My Acharya was asking that what is Vedas? So people are answering Vedas are Almighty God's knowledge, Vedas emanate from Almighty God, Vedas contains all the knowledge of the universe, and Vedas are the knowledge given at the start of universe creation to the four rishis. Vedas are not books. These kind of answers were given by the people there, but my Acharya was not satisfied. My Acharya was further asking, I'm not satisfied with the answer, please tell me what is Vedas. Then we could not answer. Then Acharya gave a very beautiful, deep philosophical meaning on what is Vedas. Acharya told that Vedas are Nitya Jnana, Nitya. Vedas are Nitya. Nitya is a Sanskrit word. In English it is, we can say as Vedas are eternal. But Acharya further added, Nitya also means it's not only eternal, it is also continuous. Vedas are not only eternal, they are also continuous. What is meant by continuous, I am going to explain to you in this short audio. Basically, if this condition of continuity is not satisfied, then that knowledge is not God's knowledge, and that knowledge is not called as Vedas. This has to be very clearly understood, and that is why we will understand the importance of Rishi Muni or Acharya or Yogi in our life. We will understand that. So basically, if I am speaking to you, I have been making many videos so far. I am telling you the Ved mantra explanation, and I put so many videos on Vedas, 400 videos or plus. So if you see that, the thing is, I took birth around 40-50 years back, and I was not existing before that. I am now existing, and I am telling you the knowledge. So there is no continuity here. Continuity means Vedas do not have a breakage. So even if I am telling you a knowledge of Ved mantra from a Samhita, that is a book. That book was printed 50 years back. Before 50 years, that book was not existing. So the knowledge from where I am getting that knowledge it was not existing 50 years back. Now it is there, and now I am giving to you. Then it is not called as Vedas. In some religions says that God sends at various point of time God will send different kind of messengers with different messages. So the messengers gave the knowledge in terms of various books to the humankind. But these are not called as Vedas. Vedas are Almighty God's knowledge. So a person is writing a book, and then that person dies. After that, people are reading that book and believing that this is from Almighty God. No. This is not called as Vedas as per the definition. So the continuity continuity means God gives the knowledge at the start of universe creation inside the heart of four rishis. So it is God is emanating this knowledge or generating this knowledge inside the rishis. God does not need a mouth. God is not speaking this knowledge and giving it to Rishi. God is not writing a book and giving it to Rishi. God is present inside each and every atoms of this universe, not even atom, each and every matter of this universe. Inside that God is present. Isha Vasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Yatkincha, whatever is available in this universe. What universe? Jagatyam jagat. Both Jad Jagat, that is non-alive world, and the alive world. Alive world is the souls. So God is present even inside the soul, and God is present even inside the universe. So God does not need a mouth to give this knowledge to Rishi, because God is inside the Rishi, soul. So from inside giving this knowledge to soul, God does not need a mouth, and the Rishi does not need a ear. Rishi needs a mouth to speak, because the person who is listening from a Rishi is outside the Rishi. That's why Rishi needs a mouth, and then the person who is listening needs a ear. For God, this is not applicable. So the point what I am going to tell is God gives the knowledge inside the rishis. So even today, if we have to understand Vedas, God says, Iti Shushruma Dhiranam, go to a yogi. Go to a yogi and always listen the Vedas. Do not read the book of Vedas. In Atharvaveda, God has very clearly told that do not read books written by human beings. You can read books though written by Rishi Munis, but not by human beings, but always listen Vedas. Samveda mantra number 50 says, Iti Shruti Shrutakarna. And Yajurveda mantra last chapter, 40th chapter, mantra number 10 says, Iti Shushruma Dhiranam. Dhiranam means yogi. Always listen the knowledge from the yogi. Because the fundamental law, Samveda mantra 525, this mantra says a beautiful sentence, Gavo yanti gopatim prichamanaha. I am talking to you. Kapil Muni says a person talking Vedas is not Vedas because that talking is a deed, it's an activity. The activity is inspired by the Jivatma. The soul is giving this knowledge to the mind, and mind inspires the mind, and mind says to the Indriya, that is the senses, organ of the speech to speak. Then the air inside the organ of speech gets heated up, and then through the action of the mouth, then this knowledge comes out. It is an activity of a soul. Kapil Muni says in Sankhya Shastra, if the knowledge of the Vedas are emanating due to an activity of the soul, then it is not Vedas because it is not coming from God. So here Samaveda clarifies in 525 mantra, Gavo yanti gopatim prichamanaha. Gopati means Almighty God. Gava means Vedvani. The Vedas are the knowledge which is emanating from Almighty God. Prichamanaha. Vedas are asking Almighty God, and yanti, it's an activity, kriya is happening. What kriya? Prichamanaha somam yanti matayo vavashanaha. It is Vedvani is asking to Almighty God, and Almighty God says that okay, go outside the mouth of the yogi. This is the action that is happening here in Samveda mantra, the knowledge of Vedas God is giving here. So whenever a yogi is uttering the knowledge of Vedas, inside the yogi, Gopatim, Almighty God is established, firmly established. Yogis are people who have realized Almighty God, and whenever they speak, whenever they give the knowledge to the public, the knowledge is not emanating from the yogi, it is coming from Gopatim, the Almighty God. Go means this universe, Patim means Malik or the Lord. So God is the Lord of this universe. So knowledge of Vedas is asking the Lord of universe and then emanating from the mouth of the yogi. So then there is a continuity, because God gives the knowledge in the start of universe, there is a continuity. Now also the knowledge is listened by us from a yogi, then also God is giving inside the yogi and yogi is speaking it, then it is continuity. And further there is a clarification in Kapil Muni Shankar Shastra, why it is called Vedas, which is coming out of the mouth of the yogi, because it is not under his control. Anichit Vani, Kapil Muni says Anichit means undesired knowledge. Undesired divine knowledge of Almighty God emanating out of mouth of the yogi is called as Vedas. This is what my Acharya explained. In fact, my Acharya explained a really beautiful example. He says that okay, you have to speak in a public forum, but you don't know what to speak. You have a headphone in your ears, and then that headphone is connected to another person's mobile. That person says, say namaste to all, and you are saying namaste to all. So the voice of the knowledge is of that person. You are just a mouthpiece. This is the same activity or the kriya that happens inside. This is a divine process which happens inside these yogi. And that is the reason God has praised yogis like anything in all the four Vedas. There are so many, several hundred mantras, several thousand mantras in the Vedas praising the Rishi Muni yogis. Because these are the people who have realized Almighty God, and Almighty God is manifested inside the heart of the Rishi. And whenever a yogi speaks, that knowledge is the Vedas knowledge. And they will speak from the Vedas knowledge because it is emanating directly from Gopatim, from the Almighty God. Gavo yanti gopatim prichamanaha. The knowledge of Vedas as they flow from the heart of the Rishi through the mouth ask the God before doing so. Hence it is almost as though that the Vedvani seeks the blessing of God just as they pour out of the Rishi's heart. This is the translation of Samveda Mantra 525 written by my Acharya. He has written in Hindi, we have translated in English just for understanding. The knowledge of Vedas as they flow from the heart of the Rishi, ask the God before doing so. Hence it is almost as though that the Vedvani seeks the blessing of Almighty God just as they pour out of the Rishi's mouth. So this is the deepest philosophy to define what is Vedas. So any book, anybody says I have studied Vedas, this is the best book of the Vedas in the world, these are not called as Vedas. These are books. These are samhitas, these are collection of Veda mantras, these are emanating from the book, then it is not called as Vedas. Almighty God's knowledge is ever unchangeable. How? Because they are still protected inside the Rishi. Whenever there is a Rishi available in this universe, the knowledge of the Vedas is always continuously emanating from Almighty God only. So that is why Kapil Muni says, Jivan Muktascha. Jivan Muktascha means one who has attained Samadhi when he is alive. If you are not listening from a Jivan Mukta Purush, then Atayit and Parampara. That means there will be a tradition of blind faith that will be followed in this society if we are not listening any knowledge from the Acharya. Whatever spiritual knowledge we need in this life, that has to be listened first, then later on we can study. Because today we have science and technology, we have books, we have internet, etc. First listen it, then later on you can study it. And whenever you study some books, you can find out that this book is wrongly misinterpreted by somebody, wrong interpretation, then we can ignore those books because this is not matching with the Vedas knowledge. I hope you would have understood what is Vedas. Vedas is always continuous and eternal, and it always emanates from the mouth of a yogi from Almighty God. Gopatim Prichamanaha. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.